Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video of verbal ability, we'll be discussing some of the questions that have appeared in IPMAT over the years. And most of the questions are going to be centered around verbal ability, vocabulary, and we'll attempt each of these questions one by one and see how we've arrived at these answers. So let's begin. So when you see the first question, it says, some of the best spies take the guise of innocuous secretaries of researchers and are able to send large amounts of information to their heads of espionage as they are dash. Now, it's very important to understand the context of the question as well, because sometimes idioms and phrases can be a little challenging. So it's very important, and even if you don't know the actual meaning of an idiom, you can make sense of it by using the literal meaning of the idiom and using the context in the same time. So as you see, it's talking about some of the best spies that take the guise of innocuous secretaries. Now, innocuous means harmless, or someone who is not, someone who is not under the eye of suspicion. So when they're talking about how some spies disguise themselves into innocuous secretaries or researchers or someone people might not suspect of, they're sort of giving and are able to send large amounts of information. So they're using this guise to send out crucial information to their espionage. Now, espionage is the act of finding out secret information about a certain organization or a country or something. So that's basically finding out top secret information. The act of doing that is known as espionage. So out of all the four options that you see here, which of the ones is the most relevant? Now, when you take a look at all these questions, all these options, you'll see only the first one is a very commonly known idiom. So hiding in plain sight. Now, hiding in plain sight means someone who is right in front of you, but you cannot tell who they are. So that's also which is the exact thing what they're talking about in the sentence itself. So if we go by that logic, the answer to the first question would be A. Hiding in plain sight. So some of the best spies take the guise of innocuous secretaries or researchers and are able to send large amounts of information to their heads of espionage as they are hiding in plain sight. So the answer here would be option A. Moving to the second question, it says, ever since Girish won the prestigious Infosys prize, he has been behaving dash. Now, out of all the four options that you see here, ambitious sort of does not make sense in this context, because ambitiously can also have a positive connotation. The option B, as you see, option C, overly means excessively. So putting excessively in this sentence is quite irrelevant. So option C would not be the answer here. Controversially means in a controversial manner or something that's sort of a scandalous. So which also does not fit the most in this context. So which brings us to option B, condescendingly. Now, condescendingly means someone or like a manner in which you look down on people. So if I'm saying that a person is condescending, I would say that this person looks down on other people. They think of others as inferior. So in this context, you can see that this person, Girish in question, has received a prize, and ever since he has started behaving condescendingly. So he has started looking down on people who haven't won the prize. So in this sentence, the most appropriate option would be option B, which is condescendingly. Now, when you see question number 3, it says, flying this simple aeroplane is a dash for the experienced pilot. Now, when you read the sentence, you can figure out that this sentence is talking about how an experienced pilot is flying a simple aeroplane. So for an experienced pilot, riding or driving or like flying a simple aeroplane can be a very easy task, right? So think of it as which of these sentences or which of these options sort of mean very close to or like mean the same as something that's very easy. So if you've left-handed game, left-handed sport, and slice of cake, these are not commonly known, these are not phrasal verbs or idioms at all. However, option B, piece of cake, is a phrasal verb that we use, which means something that's very easy. So in this context, you can see that flying the simple aeroplane is a piece of cake for the experienced pilot. So for the experienced pilot, flying a simple jet is a very simple task, which means it's a piece of cake for him. Now, for the past 3 decades, this chain of coffee shops has been committed to building a culture where everyone is welcome. They are an ally to the LGBTQ community, and this is just one instance of their dash. Now, when they're talking about LGBTQ and making everyone feel welcome. Now, this is a keyword in this question. So, when you check your options, the first option is inclusivity and diversity. The second is mindfulness and objectivity. Third is discriminatory practices, and fourth is discretionary practices. Now, these two options are not relevant at all. They don't really fit with the whole context. When you come to option B, mindfulness and objectivity, it goes the same. Even option B, mindfulness, does not really fit in this whole context. So option B is also eliminated, which leaves us with option A, which talks about inclusivity and diversity, which at the same time also connects with the keyword that I was talking about, which is welcome. So this coffee shop in question is very welcome. It tries to include everyone because it's welcoming everyone, so it's open for everyone. And they are also an ally of the LGBTQ community. So when they're LGBTQ and people who are part of the community or people who are not part of the community, all of them are equally welcome to the coffee shop. So that sort of also hints towards the diversity factor. So they are open, they include everyone, they include people from diverse backgrounds. So that brings us to the option A as the correct answer. Coming to question 5, it says, Leela is always nasty and inconsiderate with her colleagues. Now that she has a rude superior, she's getting dash. Now, the context that is set with the first part of the sentence is that Leela is this person who is very nasty and who's very mean to her colleagues. So, that sort of casts or sets a premise about who Leela is as a person. Now, they've also mentioned that now she has a rude superior. So, she as sort of, if you read the sentence, you get this sense that she's getting to, experience the same thing that she's been putting people through. So if for someone who's very rude, now that she is experiencing a rude superior, she's getting the same experience. So out of all the options that you're given here, option B is the commonly known idiom for that. A spoon of own medicine, or a taste, or an unpleasant medicine dose, or dose of bitter medicine. They're kind of similar to each other, the options, but out of these, option B is the one which is a commonly used idiom. So the answer here would be option B, a taste of her own medicine. So she's getting to taste the medicine that she's been, subjecting people to, which in this case is her rude behavior. Coming to question 6, it says, she dashed her classmates because she comes from a very rich aristocratic family. Now, aristocratic family, someone who's come from a very, someone who's blue-blooded, or what should I say, or they come from a royal family, or someone from like a very reputed lineage of sorts, so aristocratic family. When you take a look at these phrasal verbs in option, looks up to means someone that when you look up to someone, it means you see them as an inspiration, or you see them as someone that you would like to become like. So, someone who comes from a rich or aristocratic family conventionally does not look up to people, right? So, A does not fit here. Coming to option B, it says look towards. Now, look towards simply means looking at someone's direction. So, that does not fit here either. Coming to option C, it says looks away from. Now, when you look away from someone, means you look against the direction. So, if I'm looking at someone, if person A is standing here and I look away from them, I'm looking at something else which is not this person. So, option C also doesn't fit here. Now, which brings us to option D by elimination, but also by the logic that look down on someone means to be condescending, or like think or consider someone to be their inferior or not as at their standard per se. So, by that logic, which also fits in the whole context of it, which says that someone who is in a rich or aristocratic family might look down on someone who they might think is not at their standard. So, by that logic, option D would be the most appropriate one. Now, the 7th question, you see, I still have 2 more difficult exams left, but I'm trying to dash. After these, I won't have any more for a year. So, even before you go through the options, when you read the sentence, you'll see that this person in question has 2 more exams left that are difficult and has been mentioned in the passage, but I'm trying to dash. So if you try to fill in the sentence, fill in the blanks on your own without going through the option, you'll try to see that they're trying to power through it, or they're trying to be optimistic about it. After these, I won't have any more for a year. So they are very happy about the fact that they only have 2 exams left and then they don't have to go through it. So they're very happy about it. Now when you take a look at the 4 options, only one of them is a commonly known idiom. Now which in this case is look on the bright side. So option A, look on the bright side, means looking or like looking forward to something, looking or being optimistic in the face of adversity. So in this case, in this example, you'll see the adversity in question are the 2 difficult exams that are lined up for this person. But on the other hand, the bright side here is that they won't have any more exams in at least for the next 1 year. So by that logic, option A fits the most appropriately in this question. So this is all we have for this video. The key to phrasal verbs or idioms is that you have to know certain terms or words. It's very, I mean, you can obviously associate words with using their literal meaning, but at the same time, the more you know about idioms and phrasal verbs on your own, it's easier and it's quicker to arrive at an answer during the time of the examination. So thank you very much.